This is Datila, and welcome to It's Wrestling Time Post Show. It is Monday, January 27, 2025, and tonight I'll be talking about Monday Night Raw, but I'm not alone. Joining me for this review is none other than Michael 101591.
Hola, amigos. Thank you, Datila, once again for having me on the show.
Oh, you're welcome. It's always a pleasure.
Datila is such a good friend.
Alrighty, so tonight's, I totally forgot that tonight's Raw was actually the go-home show to Royal Rumble.
Obviously, it was.
I totally forgot. I was like, oh my god.
You okay, Datila?
Yeah, sorry.
I even knew it was the go-home show for the Royal Rumble. But this isn't a case, and I'll let Datila explain.
Well, we'll talk about how if it served its purpose or not at the very end. So, let's start off talking about this Cody Rhodes promo. This actually ended up closing Monday Night Raw. And I have to say, thank God CM Punk was involved in this segment, because I felt like this would have been such a, how can I say this in a nice way? This would not have been a good way to close Monday Night Raw if all you had was just Cody Rhodes going out there talking about this, basically the same old stuff that he always talks about, giving us your typical run-of-the-mill Cody Rhodes promo. So I'm really glad CM Punk was involved in this segment.
Yeah, this was good.
Yeah, I agree. This was definitely a really good segment. I really like how Punk brought up that he was WWE champion for 434 days and how he kind of like lost himself during that reign.
Yeah, that was when he was managed by Paul Heyman. A good reign that he had.
Yeah, and I also like the fact that CM Punk basically is like, saying what as a champion, this is what you need to do. You're not gonna get any sleep because you're gonna be doing media, and I've heard that. I heard that if you are WWE champion, you're like super busy, which is why AJ Styles, I think he turned down another chance to be champion, or saying that he didn't like being champion because you're like out there 24/7 doing like media and all that stuff because you're representing the company. So yeah, I can imagine the toll that it takes. But basically,
they like going around, like from interview to interview. I could tell how they feel.
Yeah. So basically, CM Punk was saying that if he wins the Royal Rumble, he might go after Cody, and it ends with them having a stare down, which was actually pretty cool. This was a great way to end Monday Night Raw. But overall, what were your thoughts on this segment?
I thought this was a very good segment. Finally, we see Cody and CM Punk in the ring together, face to face, and this whole segment is going to culminate into Punk and Cody having a one-on-one match at WrestleMania. This is going to be a WrestleMania match between these two.
You think?
Yeah. These are seeds. These were seeds being planted in this segment that we're going to get a Cody and Punk match at WrestleMania in Las Vegas.
Okay, I can kind of see it. This feels too predictable. Yeah. I would thought they were going to do Cody and Cena, so Cena can pass the torch to Cody, but I don't know. We'll see.
It could go either way.
Yeah. And I like that. I like that it can go either way, and it's not a clear cut.
Yeah, but that's my prediction.
All right, so tonight's Raw kicked off with Seth frickin' Rollins. He was cutting a promo. He was basically talking about how him losing to CM Punk was the biggest loss of his career. And he basically
can't let that go.
Huh?
He can't let that go.
Yeah, that's true. Also, where does Roman fall into all this? Good question. You would think they would do Roman versus Rock. But we'll see.
That's still up in the air.
Huh?
That's still up in the air.
So he's talking about how like his path to attention started last week after he beat McIntyre. He mentions like John Cena, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, McIntyre, and even Roman Reigns. He said he would toss all of them out of the ring including CM Punk too. He actually wants CM Punk to be the last guy in the ring with him so he could toss him over and crush his dreams of main eventing WrestleMania. And, Gunter comes out because Seth is kind of like, who would I go after, Cody or Gunter? And Gunter says that he's not Chitty. Hey, Chitty. Punk is my pick. Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. Where's my volleyball is? So they're interrupted by Logan Paul. And I have to say, even if you don't like Logan Paul, he really got a lot of boos. Like Dominic Mysterio kind of boos here. He got
that. But Logan Paul got go away heat. You could tell that's go away heat. Mm-hmm. Nobody wants to see Logan Paul.
Like I couldn't really hear or understand what Logan Paul was saying because the crowd was just really loud. He had to talk over the crowd.
But we all know what Logan Paul did. We're not going to get into that though. But that's probably another reason why people were booing the hell out of him.
Mm-hmm. That Logan, yeah, exactly. So he's basically alluding. So Logan Paul is basically alluding to the fact that he wants to enter last, so he doesn't have to toss 29 other guys over the top rope. So, and I like how Gunter was like, "I changed my mind. I want you to win," because he wanted to slap that stupid smirk off his face. And Seth Rollins agreed, but that the only problem is Gunter's going to be embarrassed if Rollins decides to go after him. So overall, I really did like this opening segment. I felt like it wasn't your run-of-the-mill segment where they set up a match and stuff. So I actually really like this.
I felt it was the opposite. Like this segment, achieved nothing to me.
Well, they're building towards WrestleMania.
Yeah, and Logan Paul just gave away that he's probably going to be the number 30 in the Rumble.
Maybe not necessarily number 30, but I could see him coming out towards the very end. All right. So next, we actually get two segments. We get a CM Punk interview that leads into a Sami Zayn segment. So CM Punk is talking about how how everyone's gonna do bad compared to him, and that if Kathy Kelly was in the Rumble, he would throw her ass over. Sami Zayn interrupts him and basically says that he agrees with CM Punk. They're not on the same level because he main evented WrestleMania and CM Punk has it. And when Sami walks away, he runs into Karrion Kross, who tells him he needs to listen to his friends like Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens, and he needs to stop thinking with his heart and start thinking with his head. And then Cody Rhodes approaches him, and Sami's just like, oh, kind of surprised. So I feel like I wonder if Sami Zayn is gonna turn heel here because he's been face for a while, and I feel like his character may not be going somewhere. So maybe he's a heel turn. You think? You think this could lead to a heel turn?
I just don't. I don't see it.
Because it seems like people that every time Cross interacts with somebody, they always end up going look what happened to Drew McIntyre, what happened to Nakamura, look what happened to the New Day and Xavier Woods. So maybe possibly.
It's always a possibility.
Yeah.
Unless Sami Zayn goes back to being, a goofy heel, and then bring Johnny Knoxville back. Get that feud once again going.
In spite of what people thought, that was actually a really fun match.
It was. It was just so bad. It was funny match though that happened at that WrestleMania.
Cross is up leg. Could be. We'll see if he's corrupt Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn was getting tips from a jobber in Karrion Kross.
All right, so next we get the tag team title matches of War Raiders versus Judgment Day. I actually thought this was a really good match. I just to say, JD Madonna, oh my god, he took a really
JD McDonough.
Huh?
Can we give our props to JD McDonough?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. JD Madonna, a lot of people make fun of him, because of the size of his head and stuff. But my god, he deserves his flowers. He took a really nasty bump when he did that moonsault to Ivar on the outside, and he accidentally hit himself on the announce table, like he could have been knocked unconscious, and the fact that he finished the match and he couldn't even tell, like that was major props. Like,
Yeah, the back of
definitely
his neck.
gives his flowers.
The back of his neck hit the commentary table.
Yeah, that was scary because he could have broken his neck right there and then.
And I'm like, he got up. I'm like, how did this guy get up after that?
Adrenaline, spur of the moment. You know, you don't feel it when you take a nasty hit. Sometimes you don't feel it. You know. But I was seeing on Twitter. Supposedly he made it to he passed out in the back. So I'm hoping. Yeah, I'm hoping he's okay. I haven't read anything. I haven't heard anything. But
I haven't seen that.
If he's not concussed, that's a miracle. Yeah, it is a miracle. It would be if he's not, but you know, hopefully he's not too. Hopefully he's not hurt and stuff. But you know, that was a really nasty. I'm hoping he's okay. You know, he was well enough to finish the match, but you just don't know with stuff like that. You know.
Yeah, I didn't see that on Twitter where he fainted in the back.
Somebody posted a picture supposedly that like JD collapsed on his way to the back. Like you can kind of see him like after he went through the tunnel, but I don't know. But hopefully he's okay. But overall, this was a good match. Carlito tried to get involved, but the War Raiders were victorious. He successfully retained their tag titles against the Judgment Day.
Yeah, it was a good match.
Mm-hmm.
Good match.
Very good match. Mm-hmm. So next we get a Pete Dunne segment / New Day interview. So like Kaiser approaches Pete Dunne and kind of alludes to Penta, saying, you know, about what happened last week with Penta. The New Day interrupt, and like Kaiser and Pete Dunne walk away. And I find this so hilarious. Like Kofi Kingston calls Xavier Woods ATL Atlanta's favorite son, even though like Kathy Kelly was like, oh, who is it? Is it Austin Theory? Is it Cody Rhodes? Is it Braun Breaker? And Xavier says his family was there tonight. So
I was like, when they said that, I'm like, oh, they're going this route like we saw with Kofi on the Monday Night Raw before Christmas Eve.
Yeah, when I heard that, I was like, oh, Xavier Woods is gonna lose in his hometown in front of his family. So yeah, we'll see. This is into Rey Mysterio versus Xavier Woods. And this was actually a really good match. Like Xavier Woods, I think he was doing good. And I really like this new look for the New Day. They're like out there in jeans and they're not in their typical attire. So I actually really like that. And like I like the fact that his family comes in just near the end. He's asking them where they were, and they have the New Day suck shirts. This causes a distraction, and Rey Mysterio ends up being victorious. And also, we learned that Zelina Vega is getting sent over to SmackDown. I'm hoping she actually ends up doing something, you know, maybe win some singles gold. She has yet to win singles gold, so hopefully she finally captures her first singles title here. Maybe they'll put her back with Andrade.
I hope they put her back with Andrade.
Yeah, but overall, I thought this was a good match with Xavier Woods and Rey Mysterio. And they did the exact same thing to Xavier Woods that they did to Kofi Kingston. But poor Xavier losing in his hometown in front of his family.
Well, it was decent. It was a decent match, though.
Yeah, same.
But hopefully this is the case, you know, like Kofi and Xavier are going to be in the Rumble. Well, we see Big E coming to the Rumble, which he is medically cleared, and he will probably eliminate both Kofi and Xavier Woods.
Yeah, we'll see. I think that's $1 million question.
Yeah, who knows if it's going to be a 2-on-1 handicap match that we see with Big E and the New Day, or he will just face either Xavier Woods 1-on-1 or Kofi 1-on-1.
Yeah. All right. Next we get a Sami Zayn segment, and Seth Rollins approaches him. He's just kind of like, okay, you know, last week was an accident. It was a mistake. But he says that if it happens again, he's going to question to make sure. He's going to question if it was really an accident or not. So what are your thoughts on this?
That was just, you know, it was okay.
Yeah.
They are actually selling that New Day Sucks shirt on Shop.
That's funny.
I was like, when I saw the shirt tonight, when they were wearing it, I was like, yep, that's going to be up on Shop in like 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm. All right. Next, get a Jey Uso segment. Honestly, I feel like this segment was just totally
Not needed.
not needed. Like, he literally went out there, did his whole entrance.
It took like 5 to 10 minutes of his introduction.
It took 5 to 10 minutes just so that he can declare himself in the Royal Rumble and vow to win the Rumble and then go on to main event WrestleMania. You know, honestly, the 5 to 10 minutes that they wasted for this, they could have showed us those exclusives that they show overseas, which we'll get into in a little bit.
Yeah, because Datila has a lot to say about that.
Mm-hmm. So next we get a Lyra Valkyria interview / American Made segment, and basically, like, she's talking about how she's declaring herself for the Royal Rumble. American Made interrupts, and Chad Gable says that Ivy Now's gonna take that title from her, and she's gonna win it for him, well, the team. And then they run into Alpha Academy, and he calls them failures, and Ivy Nile calls Maxine Twicker toes. So it seems like they're starting to combine. I guess I'm not sure if they're doing it to save time, but they're starting to combine segments.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's actually a pretty good idea. I don't mind them doing that as long as, you know, both segments make sense.
Yeah, and it flows good with the show.
Yeah, definitely.
And from that, you know, like they've been talking, Ivy Nile's been talking about trying to take that Women's Intercontinental Championship from Lyra Valkyria. That's going to be her first opponent for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. I seen.
Yeah, I mean, I do think Ivy Nile should win a singles title, but we'll see how it plays out.
I mean, she's done nothing.
Yeah, I'm surprised she and Maxine didn't get like a small run with the tag titles. All right. Oh, Mohammed says hi,
Hey,
Michael.
Mohammed.
So next we get Bianca Belair and Naomi versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. I just thought this was a decent match. This is a pretty decent match. Dominic Mysterio causes a distraction, allowing Liv Morgan to get the pin. So Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez win, which means that they're probably going to challenge for those tag titles. Probably not going to happen at the Royal Rumble, but I definitely could see it happening maybe like after the Royal Rumble. I don't think this is the Elimination Chamber match, you know, like a match at Elimination Chamber, but I definitely do see this happening now that they pinned Naomi.
Yeah, it was boring. It was a boring match. Did not care for it.
It was okay.
Obviously predictable. Naomi. No, obviously I thought that Naomi and Raquel Rodriguez were going to win, but they did the opposite.
Mm-hmm. All right. So next we get a Rhea Ripley interview, and basically she's talking about why she reminded Nia Jax why mommy's always on top, and Bayley tells her, you know, maybe she'll see her at WrestleMania, and Io Sky kind of just like comes and tells Bayley she'll see her Saturday. You guys remember Bayley was a former leader of Damage Control until Damage Control turned on her. So, seen as your pick to win. Okay.
I also seen it winning.
So I thought this was interesting. Next, we get a Penta Miedo Vignette, and he's basically just saying he's gonna declare himself he's gonna declare himself for the Rumble and promises to get his WrestleMania moment. Now, I don't know if you guys saw this on Twitter. Apparently, these are exclusive overseas because we don't get them. But apparently, they were interviewing Braun Breaker, and he got interrupted by Penta Miedo. So, is this a possible tease? Is this a WrestleMania match?
This might be a WrestleMania match.
It's his last year in WWE and Pro Wrestling altogether. I know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. That would be such an interesting match if you ask me. Penta Miedo versus Braun Breaker. That was not the direction I thought they were gonna go.
Yeah, this came out of the woodwork.
Yeah, because I thought it would be Breaker versus Sheamus. Like, I think somebody suggested that maybe Sheamus could put his career on the line, make it title versus career. And
I thought it would just be for the Intercontinental Championship. at WrestleMania. Give Sheamus his WrestleMania moment.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But since Braun Breaker beat Sheamus at Saturday Night's main event, you need another way to get there. So I don't know. It's interesting. I think it's going to be an interesting matchup, a clash of styles, so to speak.
Or unless you do a triple threat at WrestleMania. Braun Breaker.
No, I think it would have to be a singles match. I was the one that suggested the title versus career.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember. Yeah, but I also suggested Sheamus versus Breaker, title versus career, and that's how you would give Sheamus another opportunity to challenge for the IC title. I thought we were gonna get that, but it seems like they're teasing Penta and Breaker. I mean, it may not be the WrestleMania match; it might just happen on Raw after Royal Rumble. Who knows? But I'm intrigued, and I actually really like that we can't really predict which route they're gonna go. What's your question? So I like it. But I wish we US Netflix subscribers got to see some of these exclusives. Instead of being 2 minutes of commercials.
Come on, Netflix. Give us those exclusives.
All right. So next we get a Paul Heyman segment. And he's talking about Roman Reigns, calling him the one and only, the GOAT, the only tribal chief. And he says that Roman Reigns is the biggest star on this planet, and that he says that when Elon Musk colonizes Mars, he will be the biggest star on that planet too. Now he shows us the big cover for WWE 2K25, which ends up being Roman Reigns. I thought this was a pretty badass cover, if you ask me.
It's a very good cover. I like it.
Then we also they don't show these on Raw, but it was revealed on Twitter that we have a Bloodline edition.
I want to get that edition.
Although they're missing Tamina and Nia Jax. And we also have an Undertaker edition here.
Ooh, I like that too.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Oh God, what do I choose?
Why not all three?
Yeah, I mean, I like the Bloodline one better, but the Undertaker one I like as well. All three covers look great.
Yeah. Mohammed says, first, my YouTube screen is black and I can't fix it. Any chance of Nikki Bella, Becky Lynch, and Randy Orton, AJ Styles returning at the Royal Rumble this Saturday? Okay, AJ Styles I can see. Randy Orton I can see. Becky Lynch I could definitely see. Nikki Bella, I don't know. I mean,
no, I don't want to see Nikki Bella.
Her sister said that I thought she and her sister were done with WWE. That's why they are not the Bella twins. They're the Garcia twins. But hey, I never say never. If there's one thing we've learned over these last 6 years in wrestling is never say never. There's an Island of Relevancy Arena too in that game. Oh, that I gotta see.
Nice.
That I gotta see. The Real Chief says Cody Rhodes, not Bloodline. CM Punk. Okay. So, anywho,
CM Punk.
CM Punk. So, anywho, he gets interrupted by Drew McIntyre, and Drew McIntyre alludes to the fact that Paul Heyman looked nervous out there, and he basically says that he's responsible for all the success that Bloodline has right now because he won the Rumble 2020 and eliminated Roman Reigns, and all he wants is a very simple thank you here. And he says that this next part is interesting because he tells Paul Heyman to tell his client that this Saturday he will target him. He wants Paul Heyman to personally say that. Now, Paul Heyman thinks he's talking about Roman Reigns, but Drew McIntyre says he was talking about CM Punk because he knows because he says that Roman Reigns knows Drew McIntyre is coming for him. But he basically stops him from leaving. So I thought this was, I thought Drew McIntyre was going to attack Paul Heyman here.
I thought so too. They were teasing that.
Mm-hmm. But he didn't get attacked. But I thought this was a really good segment. I like this. Drew McIntyre is just the biggest hater in the world.
He does a good job at it.
He definitely does. So this leads into Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre. And I actually thought this was a good match.
But how many times have we seen this match?
Not back to back, though. Not back to back like before.
but it was good.
Mm-hmm. So Drew McIntyre gets the win after he puts his feet on the rope. So Sami Zayn still can't beat Drew McIntyre in singles competition. Now Cody Rhodes comes out to help Sami Zayn because, Drew McIntyre was attacking him post-match. Then Kevin Owens attacks Cody Rhodes. And Sami Zayn accidentally hits Cody Rhodes with the haluva kick. So that was interesting because remember Kevin Owens told Sami Zayn that as long as Sami Zayn had his back, he would have Sami Zayn's back. So again, the question here is, did Sami Zayn do that on purpose? Or was it all just a simple accident?
I thought it was all just a simple accident.
Could be.
Unless that you suggested maybe Sami Zayn will go heel.
Yeah.
And that was one of the seeds being planted.
Mm-hmm. We'll have to wait and see. That's all right. So we're gonna stop there because we already talked about the Cody Rhodes promo at the beginning. So overall, what would you rank tonight's show on a scale from a 1 to Sean Spears' perfect 10?
This show would be a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
So it was a decent show, and of course, it did not get us hyped as a go-home show, for the Royal Rumble.
You know me, I always feel that the purpose of a go-home show is to get you excited for the pay-per-view, and the job of the go-home show is to sell you the pay-per-view. Like, if you have been watching consistently, you're supposed to tune into tonight's show and be excited to watch the Rumble. I will say, I'm watching the Rumble regardless. I thought if this would have been your run-of-the-mill Monday Night Raw, I would say it would have been decent. It was a pretty good Raw. But because this is a go-home show, I thought it was a decent Raw. I really like the Cody Rhodes promo. And like I said, thank God CM Punk came out because that would have just been your run-of-the-mill Cody Rhodes promo.
Yeah, exactly.
Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre I thought was decent too. I really like all of the stories that we're getting, but I feel like when it comes to name value in Rumble, I feel like the men's one is much more stacked than the women.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of the most stacked Rumbles in a while.
Yeah, and I really like the opening segment with Seth Rollins, Gunter, and Logan Paul. So I give it a 7.5 out of 10. I thought it was, like I said, if this would have just been a regular Raw, I felt like it was a good Raw. Because it's a go-home show, 7.5.
And then the men's Rumble is they're trying to make it like how the 1992 Royal Rumble was.
Why do you say that?
Because there was like a lot of guys in that Rumble because it was one of the most stacked Rumbles, and they're making this one a stacked Royal Rumble. So they're like kind of comparing it to the 1992 Rumble.
Is anyone really feeling the build to this Rumble? No, not really.
No.
Honestly, this is all building towards WrestleMania. And the Rumble is just a stop towards Mania.
Yeah, after the Rumble, we're going to get that build towards WrestleMania. That's when we're going to get some good stuff. Or as Vince McMahon would say, some good shit.
Yeah, definitely. I think this Rumble is going to be really interesting. I don't think it's as predictable as people make it seem to be, even though Cena's probably the obvious choice. Mm-hmm. But hey, who knows? I think it's going to be a really good Rumble, though.
Oh, of course.
Alrighty. All right, as we get ready to sign off, Michael, where can people find you?
Well, you guys can find me at my channel down here, Michael101591. I do Monday Night Raw reviews, SmackDown reviews, AEW reviews. I review Dynamite every Wednesday. I have movie reviews, DVD, Blu-ray, 4K updates. I have old school commercials on my channel. So if you like what you see, come over and subscribe to my channel. I will be going live Wednesday for episode 3 of The Bell Call, which I do with my good buddy Noah Kaser. And, hopefully, we can have Datila appear on the show at some point because she's always welcomed on the show. But Datila pops up from time to time on my channel. So if you like what you see, subscribe.
I could see Joe Henry John Cena as the first entrance. I would like that, honestly. I honestly would freaking like that.
Yeah, Joe Hendry, I see he's going to be in the Rumble.
I don't think that they're going to be the first two because, see, I don't know what they want to do with Cena. I don't know if they want to let him go out there and, fully be in the Rumble, or if they're just going to have him come out kind of towards the end so he can get some eliminations here, or maybe in the middle. I don't know. I don't see them being the first two, but that would be really great if they are the first two.
I wish they could pull a John Cena when he came back for the 2008 Royal Rumble.
I think he was at number 27 at that time, or number 18, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that would be as cool as that would be to have John Cena and Joe Henry be the first and second entrants. I don't think it's going to happen. I really don't think it's going to happen. I do think Joe Henry's going to be in this Rumble, but I don't think he's going to come out.
He's not going to win it.
Yeah, he's not.
Actually, John Cena in Royal Rumble 2008, he came out at number 30.
Oh, number 30. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I would imagine if they repeat that for the 2025 Rumble on Saturday.
It wouldn't surprise me if they do, because again, what do they want to do with Cena? Do they want to give him a full Rumble, have him run the Rumble, or just come in towards the very end and throw it out over a few guys and then win? Maybe that's right. So, TNA World Champion Joe Henry.
Future NXT World Champion.
What about Dynamite?
Yeah, I review Dynamite.
Okay. All right. As for you're not the only one that believes in Joe Henry.
I believe in Joe Hendry as well.
I believe in 252 pounds of pure motivation, the answer to all of life's problems. Also, knowing this is Cena's final Rumble, this is going to be Cena heavy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I definitely see that.
Or maybe they have Cena come out at number 4, number 5.
Yeah.
So that way he's in the Rumble for almost an hour.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see him coming out 4 or 5, maybe 6. Definitely top 10. The first 10 numbers I could see him coming out in. Let me see. Jordan could be at Rhea Rumble. Oh, Royal Rumble again, too. Yeah, I definitely do think Jordan Grace is coming back at the Royal Rumble.
And she signed with WWE.
Yeah, that's not a surprise. We all knew she was going there. I believe in him showing up at the Royal Rumble as well as the Hardy man. I don't know about the Hardys.
No, I don't see the Hardys.
I don't see the Hardys because, you would have to have both of them, and you hear one music, it's, I don't know. That's harder for the Hardys. I don't see them.
The Hardys I don't see being in the Rumble.
Yeah, maybe one of them I could see being in the Rumble, but I don't know about both of them.
If one of them is going to be in the Rumble, it's got to be Matt.
I was going to say Jeff, but okay. But anywho, all right. As for myself, you can follow me on Twitter at Datila_. I talk Raw, SmackDown, AEW Dynamite, and of course TNA Impact. You can catch me on my channel every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, occasional Saturdays and Sundays. And of course, for all things TNA, you can catch me every Thursday on Body Slam. Make sure you guys tune in on Thursday because Bert and I are celebrating our 1-year anniversary of us hosting the TNA post show on
Congratulations.
Body Slam. Thank you. I will be shocked if Jordan Grace wins as the number 1 entrance. I don't think Jordan Grace is going to win, but I do think she's definitely going to come out in the Rumble, and I definitely do think she's going to give one hell of a performance. I wish her well. I wish her luck. And I'm happy to see where this journey takes her into WWE. I'm hoping that she also gets a WrestleMania match this year, but hey, if she doesn't, there's always next year,
I don't think she's going to NXT. I think she's going fully to the main roster.
She should go to the main roster, but we have to wait and see where they place her. Alrighty then. Well, with that being said, thank you guys all so much for watching and for the continued support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you can notify whenever I go live or release a new video. And I'll see you guys Wednesday after AEW Dynamite. Bye.
Yeah.